Our choice to go with AWS was driven both by technical characteristics, but also what we knew was coming around the corner in terms of our ability to innovate and make our products better. There are certain products and there are certain features that we wouldn't be able to offer unless we gain the scaling capabilities from AWS. Alert Logic secures cloud environments, cloud workloads. A lot of our work involves helping customers through their cloud migration, helping them take their applications out of traditional data centers, move them into AWS as an environment. Our customers trust us to store their data, in some cases, for up to 7 to 10 years. These are compliance requirements. That means that the archive has to move to a place where we can easily access it. So we have data for our customers, in some cases staged in multiple locations in the US and in the UK. Our job is to make sure that they not only gain that level of trust, but also that they realize that, in fact, by moving to a cloud environment, they can be even more secure than they were on premises.
Today, we have about 25 petabytes of customer data under management. 4 or 5 years ago, that wasn't as much. We were just, topping about a petabyte of data. So you only get so much performance out of that footprint. And what we would struggle with was to be able to find economic solutions that had a sufficient amount of performance that fit into that footprint of storage, and that was a good decision for 3 years. We have 4,000 customers. We tag the data by customer and by the sort of month in which it occurs. We use those tags to turn on per customer analytics, and then we use that to be able to publish to sort of the rest of the business. What each customer is both consuming from just a consumption of data on disk that we haven't expired to what their actual usage pattern is. One of the upshots of us making the migration of this data from our physical data centers into AWS and S3, it ends up being less than half of the cost of our current footprint. That is fully redundant, that's fully multi-region, that's recallable within a few minutes. It's just not something that we have access to in the physical data centers. During that migration, we had the opportunity to test the scale of it, so that we tested 100 times our current production load. All of the metrics were flat. Our 95th latency on writes of S3 were at 200 milliseconds, and at the 31,000 writes per second, they were still 200 milliseconds.
And I think the most unique part of our migration is that it wasn't an executive mandate given to our development team. It was very much an organic process. We started to build it with AWS components in mind and gaining new scaling characteristics which we weren't able to do before.
We got involved with the S3 team and talked about the tagging beta. By March of this year, myself and one other engineer had built this solution, and we had migrated and demonstrated the 100 times our production scale on that system in production. So it was a pivotal change for us. We have almost no one dedicated to doing infrastructure operations anymore. The development teams now own their services, their components, their subsystems.
These changes are seamless to customers. I don't think our customers realize exactly where their data resides. They know that we, as a service provider, are responsible for resiliency and performance and security of their data. But exactly how it's managed, I think, is seamless to them. So we've been able to move major workloads to AWS behind the scenes, not really impacting the user experience in a negative way at all. In fact, a lot of them notice that the performance as we move is actually increasing.